Hello, my fellow freaks. I'm Freak Boy, and welcome to Freak Boy Runs. Not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous. This is a scary week. It's my biggest week of the cycle. I gotta do a threshold today. I gotta do a tempo on Thursday. Both of them long. Today is 12 miles. Tempo is 9 miles, but then on Thursday, it's a double run day. So then I gotta do a 5K later in the day. So it is total 12 miles on Thursday as well. That doesn't count the 9 miles on Wednesday in between those. Another 9 on Saturday. And then the ginormous 35K, 22 mile long run on Sunday. So this is the big one. I got some nerves, but I also have some confidence. It's a little bit of a weird mixture of both. Yeah, today's threshold is warm up, which is almost done. Then 4 kilometers, a marathon effort. I'm trying to get my heart rate up to the top of zone 2 there, and then 10 by 800 meters, and my rest period between those reps I think it's either 90 seconds or 2 minutes. Sorry about all the road noise. So I feel like I've got good energy today. I'm going to check back in with you hopefully somewhere in the middle. It really depends how it goes, but at the very worst I'll give you an update at the end, and we're going to see how this goes. Time to take my first gel, which I'm not going to be able to get it out of my pouch and take the gel on camera, so I'll put you guys away, pick you back up in a sec. Just about at the end of the 5th interval, so that'll be halfway. Watch is beeping now, and I get to jog. Okay. So far, excuse me, not too bad. I kept my marathon effort section very steady, just right at, now can I remember? Yeah, just a little over 5 minutes per kilometer, which is not fast, but it's very steady. I had my heart rate right where I wanted to keep it, just to get it up to high zone 2. I was a little bit of low zone 3 there as well, but that's okay because that's all marathon effort. And then these first 5 repeats have been pretty steady, very good on the heart rate. I've nailed that pretty much. I did include one small hill, which was my slowest rep, I think, at 4 minutes and 10 seconds for the 800, and the rest have been right hovering around 4 minutes plus or minus a couple seconds. So I'm good with that. Let's see how the next 5 go, and you'll find out at the end. Cheers. Okay, just on the last little bit of the last rep. It was hard. So let me get through this, and then I'll be able to talk a little bit better. Should only be about another 10 seconds or so left. Oh my God. I'm trying to make the last one the fastest to finish strong. Yeah, that was the fastest. At 3:49. Again, I'm not claiming it's fast, but it's okay. I think I can feel myself gaining some fitness. I'll have to compare my paces to the interval runs I was doing in the last build block. But I think it's better. Anyways, I promised I'd come back at the end, and I didn't break my promise. But now you gotta go in the pocket. I'm gonna drink some water and catch my breath. It's Thursday, tempo day. So first, the good news. Hopefully, the good news. My first day running in these babies, the ASICS Magic Speed 5. I only have 8 miles this morning, so hopefully they don't cause any issues at all like the blisters I got with the Mega Blasts. But if they do, it's not that long of a run, so it's manageable. So now the bad news. I didn't have a great sleep last night, which may or may not impact my performance on today's session. But that's not the important part. The important part is the reason I didn't have a good sleep is that pain in my left glute woke me up and was throbbing at a pretty serious level for quite some time, and finally went away after I took some ibuprofen. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. It's the first time that's happened in months now. I thought I was done with it. It's possible that I was very stupid yesterday in doing an S&C workout, strength and conditioning. I, during my squats, reintroduced a heavy band over my shoulders that I stand on to simulate basically adding some weight. And physio told me earlier to stop doing that, and I thought, okay, that was just during the recovery. Now I can reintroduce it. The day I did it, that night, last night, was the first time I experienced that back pain. Now it also could be that just getting back to full volume running these last few weeks may have finally tipped over the edge this week as well. I don't know. I feel okay right now. But what I'm going to do first and foremost is not do what I did with the squats going forward. That just adds compression onto my back. I wish I hadn't done it yesterday. And I monitor. If it continues, then I may have some tough choices ahead of me. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. Anyways, just quickly back to today's session. It's 4 reps of tempo high zone 3, tempo low zone 3 for a kilometer at a time. It doesn't have any breaks, which makes it a little bit harder, but it's only 8 kilometers total. So I didn't bother with my hydration vest today. I'm not fueling. It's only going to be a little over an hour worth of running, so I think I'm okay there. Okay, so I'll check back in with you guys a little bit later, possibly just after the run, or at least after the tempo part. Let you know how it went. It's done. It's not a killer, but it's not easy either. My heart rate blew up on the last rep, and I couldn't get it back down to where it needed to be for the final low zone 3 kilometer. RPE wasn't too bad though. So yeah, I think that's going to be all for the check-in. I want to relax here, so I'm going to pick you guys back up for the ginormous 22-mile long run on Sunday. Just starting my long run. It's not quite 6:30, about 30 minutes later than I hoped to start, but I am just coming up to the lake here, which is right at the very beginning, and I wanted to do a little bit of video because a couple of my friends are here. Let's pause the watch. They're not really my friends. I don't know them personally, but I love seeing these guys. And he's about to bounce off the lake. Oh, splashdown. Nice job. Okay, it's nice to have a treat this morning. Okay, that was perfect timing. Now I'm glad that I started half an hour late. Got to see that guy bounce his basket off the lake. Now, what's the plan for today? Today I'm doing 35 kilometers. Good morning. Good morning. This is the biggest long run of the entire cycle. It's 22 miles, and it's got hot spots in it, So the way it's gonna go is 3 kilometers easy and then a 5 kilometer hot spot. I'll try and get those hot spots into high zone 2, low zone 3. Excuse me. I'm expecting maybe around, I don't know, somewhere under 9 minutes per mile. But yes, 3 kilometers easy, 5 kilometers hot spot. Repeat that 4 times for the first 32 kilometers and then finish with 3 kilometers easy. So that's what it is. I'll pick you guys back up somewhere in the middle, probably. Let you know how it's going. It's gonna be a hot one today. I got the big reservoir on. I really packed it with ice and water today, and hopefully I've got enough. Okay, we'll check in a bit. Cheers. I'm just at the end of the second hotspot. It's hard. Maybe a little harder than I was even expecting. We'll see how the next 2 feel. I expect I'm gonna have to slow down because my heart rate's just not keeping up right now. I think I'm gonna take a short break to let it recover as soon as I'm finished this one before I go into the next easy run section, to make sure that that whole section is in zone 2. Okay, I'll check in with you. I'm not sure when, possibly when I'm done. Cheerio. Okay, I'm done. I had to stop a half mile short of 22 miles, but I did get 35K done. So I'm gonna call it complete. But the reason I had to stop is check this out. I don't know if you can see that. I had my last run in my old Nike Vaporflies, the original Next Percents. I didn't get nearly as many miles out of them as I got out of the first pair. Those are actually still, I mean, in one piece. I don't really like running them anymore because the foam's pretty much shot, but they're in one piece, whereas these are done. No more running in these ever again. So these Vaporflies and my Alpha Flies, the Next Percents, both gave out about at the same mileage, like 240 miles or so. Anyways, back to the session. That was, you can probably hear this thing flopping like a flip-flop on my foot. That was probably the toughest of this particular long run in my memory, and I'm pretty sure I've done this particular 36 kilometer long run every marathon, I think. I don't remember one being this hard. I tried to do the hot spots, the first 2 hot spots I managed, but after that I was pretty much done. And then I just had to keep with a much slower pace just to keep my heart rate from blowing up. A lot of shade stops for water. Pretty much my entire body is hurting by the end here. My back started getting sore, which was part of the reasons I decided I just really couldn't push it with those hot spots anymore. So it did take me, shoot, I forgot to note the time, but I think just a little under 3.5 hours. Too long by my estimation, too long by the rule of thumb of really not pushing yourself past 3 hours. I don't know if I was right in my justification, but I justified it with my very constant, almost, stops to let my heart rate recover and take a drink. I depleted this Camelback. This is the large bladder version that I've got. I depleted it, I don't know, by about 19 miles, I think. And then I went and stopped at the car and I dumped my liter of ice and water into it. There's actually still some ice left in it, but it's just melting at barely a rate for me to get a little trickle out of it. I can get a little bit, so it's still something. But yeah, I really drank a lot today. Anyways, yeah, I mean, you can probably tell that I'm a little bit disappointed, but I have to consider it a success. I was really struggling to complete it, really from less than halfway. I was fighting to quit the whole way, which is why I just decided, okay, just made a deal with myself. Don't quit, and as a reward for not quitting, you get to take rest breaks as often as you want. So that's what I did. Let's see. I don't know if I really want to walk all the way around this lake with this floppy shoe, so I think I'm just going to go to the car. Yeah, that's about all I've really got. I'm depleted physically, I'm depleted mentally. I just got nothing left. So I'm gonna have to sign off. Sorry for leaving on such a low energy note, but this one really took a lot out of me. So if you're enjoying the content in any way, please tap the like button below. Hit the subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Comment and share if you dare. And until next time, on Freak Boy Runs, embrace the misery. Freak Boy out.